How do you plan to go about in the exports markets, overseas markets? I mean, there is definitely a space between a low-end motorcycle and a higher-end motorcycle, basically.
So I think for us, and for me particularly, the first most important thing was to become strong in India. We've been in India for 60 years. I mean, the brand has been around for 110 years plus. We've been in India for 60 years. And we weren't making much traction here. So we figured out, and this is many years ago, we figured out that if we can't do justice here, there's no way we can do well outside. We understand this market, we're present here, we have the right cost structures, everything else. So really it was first and foremost about India, about cracking the Indian market. And I believe now we're on a good upswing. We believe that we've done justice to what the brand potential could accomplish in India. We will still see a lot more growth, but at least we're on the right trajectory. So now, with that trajectory on the Indian market, we can shift our minds, or we can sort of start actually really strategically thinking about international markets, which earlier was more an opportunistic play. I mean, it was nice to have products selling in overseas markets, but if you sell 300, 500, we were quite happy with that. Now, we're thinking totally different. We believe there's an enormous potential globally for mid-sized motorcycles. So, for developing markets such as India, emerging markets, high growth markets, where there are a lot of commuter bikes, so in Latin America and Southeast Asia and in Middle East Africa, where there are all these type of, let's say, commuter motorcycles, we see that an India-like effect can certainly happen, like has happened in India, where people want to upgrade. People want something a bit more evocative, a bit more interesting, and that's where Royal Enfield comes in. So the same type of customer set which is, let's say, evolved or grown to buying a Royal Enfield bike, we see that that can happen in emerging markets around the world. So we are creating business models and ideas and concepts around the world where we can, not exactly, but in some manner of speaking, replicate the success that we've had in India. On the other hand, we see that in developed markets, which are now slow growth markets, they're aging markets, the population is aging, they're extremely urbanized markets. Because of these 3-4 conditions, we see that from the high powered and very heavy motorcycles which used to be predominant here, people are sort of veering towards maybe a more mid-size type of bike, which is more accessible, maybe even more affordable, but certainly easier, more fun to ride, better in the cities. You can, the maintenance is easy, the insurance is not too high. So but it's beautiful, it's evocative, it's something which is, it's not a simple commuter. So what we see is that in emerging and developed markets, we believe that the world is converging towards mid-sized motorcycles, and a market only develops when there are outstanding products in that space. So, because we believe we can bring in outstanding products which are extremely differentiated in the mid-sized motorcycle market, we believe that will even attract more and more people to that space. If we didn't exist, I believe, then the market would just remain as it is. So we believe we can shift that market and draw people towards mid-sized motorcycles.
Can you give us a exports target that you have in mind, like in 5 years or in 10 years down the line? Where do you want to see your volumes in those markets?
We want to be number one globally in mid-sized motorcycles.
So what would be the size of that mid-size segment globally?
We are estimating around 700,000 motorcycles globally.
Per year?
Per year. The overall global two-wheeler market is around over 50 million. So but the mid to large size market is just shy of 2 million, whereas we believe the mid-size motorcycle will be around
7,
around half of that perhaps. So we're still getting exact numbers on it, but that's approximately what we think, and we're already a reasonable player. We're already 100,000 plus 700,000 markets.
And how much have you exploited the Indian market? How much is left there?
It's impossible to say that, because even the numbers we're doing right now was a pipe dream really earlier, that could we do 100,000 or 100 and, getting to 200,000. I mean, I think what's happened is that the Indian market has evolved tremendously. Earlier it paid emotionally to be part of the pack. So if you were a conformist, people looked at you, highly. They said, okay, well, you're buying something which is, which everyone else has got, all your neighbors have got. Now what's happened is that there's much more individualism coming in to people. You've owned a 100cc bike, you've got bored of it, or maybe 150cc, now you want to move up. And here's something which is very evocative, very interesting. It also helps you define your personality in a different way or project yourself in a different way. So that's what actually happens with our bike, and people sort of say that, look, I'm this kind of guy, so I should have this kind of motorcycle. So, so what's happened is that as we've seen more bikes on the street, as the brand has sort of evolved and visibility has gone up, that sort of fuels further growth. So we certainly see another few years of great growth coming, and then, with the expansion and distribution that we're doing in India, we're adding, 6+ dealers a month now, so maybe 60-80 dealers in the year. New products coming in with new platforms eventually, with with our entire new brand renaissance that we're doing. I mean, we expect that there's still a lot more room in India for us to grow.